Hey there everyone, welcome to the channel. This video will be following the same format as last week's video, a compilation where I showcase all the villains I have defended throughout the week, and then give extended commentary at the very end. This will allow you to see all these short videos in a chronological order, and save you from having to click each one at a time, but also provide much needed context into how these defenses are made. This week's villains are as follows: Madara Uchiha, Sosuke Aizen, Sukuna, Reverse Flash, and Shou Tucker. If you have been keeping up with my videos, you will have realized that Reverse Flash is a bonus addition. You will find out why soon enough though. So grab yourself a seat, some snacks, and enjoy the video. Let's roll the intro and get started. Today we are defending Sosuke Aizen, the best villain to ever appear in Bleach. The first and most obvious point is, you can't prove any of his wrongdoings whatsoever, since my client was never present in Dragon Ball Super at all. Many people like to bring up the fact that Madara can defeat Aizen. Aizen was completely right in trying to dethrone the Soul King. The Soul King was just a figurehead being used by Squad Zero to ensure the Great Shinobi War maintained the balance of the realms in the One Piece verse. There is no way to prove that Aizen Shikai was responsible for anything that happened in finding the wealth, fame, power. In conclusion, my client is completely innocent and should be set free.
That was easy.
Today we are defending Ryomen Sukuna, the King of Curses. He apologizes for not making it to this court session, but he did ask me to relay his words to you all. Dear insignificant insects, your laws do not apply to me, and as such, I felt no obligation to attend. I have no respect for any of you, especially the jury. You worms can't face me in battle, so you pick the worthless method of law. How pitiful. Now then, I made sure to leave Mahoraga outside. If anyone in that courtroom declares me guilty, Mahoraga has my permission to clear out the trash. So, pick wisely. Anyway, that's all I was supposed to say. Me personally, I think he's innocent. Would any of you like to give a different verdict? No? Case closed. Looks like we are defending Reverse Madara Uchiha. I'll make this quick. He's innocent. But here's the long version. Madara grew up in times of war. Everything he did at that point was part of the conflict he was born into. But he and Hashirama helped in building the Leaf Village. The problem here is, Hashirama wanted to coexist with the other villages peacefully. Madara believed in ruling through power. Neither of them were wrong here since both methods didn't work. Madara's manipulation of Obito towards the creation of the Shinobi War wasn't even his own doing. That was Zetsu. And everything Obito did, he did himself. Madara was dead. Madara wiped out the Shinobi forces, you say. I blame Snake Boy. He not only brought back Madara, but he specifically wanted Madara to fight so that he could see what Madara could do. The Infinite Tsukuyomi plan was also just Black Zetsu. And to be fair, everyone that got trapped literally lived the best lives they possibly could within the illusion. He gave everyone a free vacation to heaven basically. It's not his fault Naruto and Killjoy ended it early for everyone. Defending Shou Tucker is going to be the hardest trial I have ever done. I will not tell you he is innocent, Your Honor. He's guilty, but I am seeking a reduced sentence. Many people call Shou Tucker a monster, but I will argue that he is simply a pathetic man driven by greed. As a state alchemist, he received funding from the government to carry out research. His field of study was chimeras, one can only assume for combat purposes. After failing for so long, the government threatened to take away his funding, leaving him and his family poor. So in desperation, he sacrificed his wife, the first successful chimera, but due to depression, she refused to speak or eat and passed away. Desperation struck once more years later, and this time, his daughter was sacrificed. My client confesses for his crimes, but sucks to be you, members of the jury. Amestris doesn't give a damn about human experimentations. Have you seen their president? He was made via human experimentation. He doesn't give a damn. Tucker was being paid, I repeat, paid to do human experiments for the government. My client is going to get pardoned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start with the commentary, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There are short videos every day and long-form content every few days. So hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out. Anyway, we are starting with Sosuke Aizen. While writing this script, I already knew I was not going to find a legal defense for him. Sure, a lot of the members he harmed were under the illusion, but there's also Ichigo that saw everything without the illusion. You can make the argument that if Aizen was in court, he would just put everyone under the perfect hypnosis. And that is exactly what my video is based on. If you look at the very first 3 seconds of the video closely, you will notice I included Aizen releasing his Shikai, a subtle nod to the fact that the audience was now under hypnosis, and then the entire video is glitchy and switches topics from the big 3 to Dragon Ball to voice glitches, etc. I wanted to simulate what it would be like if you guys watching were at the trial and got yourselves under Kyoka Suigetsu. So no, I didn't have an actual legal resolution here, but I did use his abilities to cheat the system and give him the good verdict, thus proclaiming him as innocent. Let's now talk about Sukuna, the most fun trial I have done, because this was another trial I knew for sure that I could not win. There is no legal justification for anything he did in the Heian era or Shibuya or in the Culling Games and further on. So instead of thinking in terms of law, I just asked myself, what would Sukuna actually do? How has he responded to authority before? The answer is pretty simple. He hates and ignores all of it. That or he just fights them. So in this trial, Sukuna simply didn't appear. He left a letter shit-talking everyone, and then he threatened everyone who crosses him by leaving Mahoraga outside the courtroom doors, just waiting for the jury to act up, begging for a reason to crash through those doors and teach everyone the beautiful art of adapting to these hands being thrown. Strictly speaking, coercion in a court or threatening the process is illegal, but you'd have to take that up with Mahoraga. Me personally, I wouldn't take the risk. Alright, time for the bonus round. Here is where I was actually supposed to be defending the Reverse Flash. You know, this guy.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch!
But I came up with the idea to have him erase the timeline and replace his trial with Madara's instead. Though worry not, dear viewer, you, yes you, and only you watching right now, will ever get to see the Reverse Flash's trial. I have no plans of sharing this part outside the confines of this video, so this will be an exclusive trial on the Reverse Flash. He has committed a crap ton of atrocities. He is considered the greatest hater in fiction for this very reason. He is petty, malicious, and incredibly smart. Whenever something he doesn't like ends up happening, he goes back in time and changes it. So how would I defend him in court? Well, Your Honor, how do you plan on convicting someone that hasn't been born yet? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Eobard Thawne hasn't been born yet. He is born far, far into the future. You and I will both be bones before he's even an infant. Case closed. Unless the law develops a clause to capsule a trial's proceedings and accusations into the future to be processed by others, then my client is walking free. Well, running free to be exact. Though to be honest, the trial can go in varying different ways too. I could just have him threaten everyone in the court, or erase everyone in the court, or disguise himself as the judge and the jury to declare himself innocent. He has the ability to make time remnants that can easily achieve all of that. But with that out of the way, let me take a moment to thank everyone for watching this far. I'm finding this series to be really fun and entertaining. It really keeps my thinking on the edge of its mental seat, as it were. You guys watching this get to see the ways I defend these villains, alleged villains anyway, and I kinda get the exact same experience. I never know how I am going to find these answers until I finally do, and that just makes things more exciting for me too. So if you are liking the series, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos every day and every week. Now let's talk about Madara Uchiha. His trial is pretty simple with all things considered. Everything Madara did was because of the workings of Black Zetsu, changing the Uchiha Stone tablet, feeding him false information, and coercing him into a path that would suit him best. Madara genuinely believed that the infinite Tsukuyomi was the right way to give the world peace, making everyone live their best lives within a dream. What Madara did not know is that the people caught by the tree were actually going to die. His good intentions were used against him, an unwilling follower to a grand scheme he had no idea existed. So the most you can do is give him a reduced sentence, since he did actually perform all those bad deeds. Not willingly, but still, actions have consequences. But Madara got taken over by that anal cavity Black Zetsu and became Kaguya, so trial over, I guess? Madara doesn't exist anymore either, just a very angry mother remains, and she was last seen in the moon, along with Zetsu. Is anyone willing to go up there and retrieve either of them to answer for their crimes? I assume not. Even if you did, the events of Boruto tells us that Kaguya likely already has been absorbed, so go fight the Otsutsuki if you want justice, I suppose. Is anyone in the jury interested in throwing hands with gods? No, didn't think so. And finally, Shou Tucker. The trial that took me over 3 hours to plan out. The very first idea I had was to ingratiate him to the audience, make him seem like less of a monster and at least humanize him a bit, because that's exactly what he was. A desperate, greedy, despicable human, driven to the edge by his dumb needs for success and accolades in his field, but also to provide a good life to himself and his family, though he got too blinded by greed to realize that the people he worked hard to provide for are the ones he sacrificed in order to get there. The final straw being, well, his own daughter, Nina Tucker. In the comments for that video, someone made a great point. Why didn't he just request the government provide him with inmates or something? They would have surely provided him some. It's not like Amestris is known for its good leadership. They are corrupt and war-based. A few lives mean nothing to them. They would have given him some. But anyway, let's get to the actual conclusion of this one. I was looking into the penalty for human experiments. You know, to determine how much of a reduced sentence that Shou Tucker should get as a deal for cooperating and confessing. But then I got the idea to, instead of focusing on our laws, why not focus on Amestris' laws instead, where the trial should be taking place? And that turned out to be the perfect loophole. As it turns out, Amestris doesn't give a damn about human experimentation at all. The presidents aren't exactly chosen, they are bred and trained to be leaders, raised in a giant lab compound, and experimented on to create a homunculus, the result being wrath. Actually, King Bradley wasn't even the first choice. More than 10 people died before him. He just happened to be the successful one. Upon further checks, it turns out in Amestris, human experimentation is only banned to the public, but the military and state alchemists are allowed for war purposes, of making stronger troops and such, which may have actually been Tucker's main job, to create chimeras for war, which would mean he was getting paid to perform human testing, making what he did heavily immoral, but not actually illegal. I agree it's a very messed up way of looking at things, but it's not like it hasn't happened in our world before. Have you got any idea of the numerous messed up things countries have done and ignored? Case closed. Tucker would more than likely just get pardoned, but fortunately he didn't live long enough to receive that pardon. And that just about covers this week's trials. I certainly hope you had a good time listening to my yap session. Thank you to everyone that watched this far. If you have any questions, suggestions, or you want to pick who gets a defense trial this week, please tell me in the comments. And this week's magic word is, damn it, just comment the words pecking order, and I'll be sure to leave a heart on your comment. If you understand where that reference came from, then you, my friend, are an honorary Spectre Society General for the week. Oh right, I should probably mention, I actually have an active Discord server for the community. Everyone is welcome in there to talk to other like-minded people, share their ideas and such, or just memes and artwork, like some of the people in there. A quick shout out to Purple for always sharing the most creative art and drawings in the server, and Starro for sharing his edits for all of us to see, and Ace for always bringing the most interesting discussions. No, they didn't ask for any of these shoutouts. It's just my way of telling them that I do see the awesome stuff they do. Anyway, that will be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video. Peace, my friend, and have an awesome day.